Get ready because the new Mario Galaxy trailer dropped hard, and it's packed with the kind of details that make you freeze on the screen, trying to figure out every little hidden thing. Seriously, some of this stuff will flip your brain inside out. Ready to jump into this wild ride and uncover everything that's coming in this movie that's already looking absolutely incredible?
I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors!
It's trash.
Right off the bat, one detail that grabs a ton of attention is when Bowser shows up, painting his portrait while still in that tiny form. And honestly, that just makes everything even funnier. The viewing window shows Luigi looking gigantic compared to him, totally scaring the villain who has basically turned into a living keychain. Remember how at the end of the last movie, Bowser swallowed that mushroom that turned him into Mini Bowser? Well, yeah, he's still stuck like that and still locked up in Peach's castle for everything he pulled. But here's the weird part. Even though he's a prisoner, his cell looks almost too comfortable. The guy can literally sit there painting like he's relaxing in some luxury spa. Later in the trailer, we see Luigi having a super chill conversation with Bowser, almost like the two of them are school buddies. The vibe between them looks polite, which is already weird enough. But the best part is Mario's reaction. He watches that whole thing with this totally unfriendly look, like he's finding everything extremely suspicious. Is he jealous because Luigi is giving the villain too much attention? Or does Mario just refuse to believe that Bowser could be trying to act like a nice guy? Truth is, Bowser might be pretending to be all friendly, just so he can pull something later on. What do you think? Is Mario right to be suspicious? Since Bowser's locked up, another detail that gets people talking is where Peach decided to put him. Inside a mini castle shaped exactly like Bowser himself. It's basically a themed prison custom made for him. This raises a bunch of questions. Did Peach try to make it cute out of pity? Or does she think that if he stays comfy, he'll cause less chaos and be easier to control? Either way, it's hilarious that even in prison, Bowser still ended up in a place that matches him perfectly. Now we're talking. One of the most anticipated characters, Rosalina. You simply can't make a movie inspired by Mario Galaxy without the guardian of the Lumas. She's essential to that universe. And to make things even more epic, Nintendo and Illumination brought in a big-name actress to voice her, none other than Brie Larson, the same actress who plays Captain Marvel. This shows that the next Mario films are going all in on major Hollywood stars to voice the characters. And with that, fans are already dreaming about who might end up playing Daisy in a third movie down the road. This casting choice makes it obvious how much care the producers are putting into this new adventure. And honestly, if they announce that Mario Galaxy is just the start of a huge Nintendo cinematic universe, it's going to be hard not to freak out. But until that day comes, let's keep breaking down every single hidden detail in this trailer coming next year. To wrap up this part, the trailer also shows an electrifying scene. Rosalina in a duel against a massive machine controlled by some mysterious villain we still don't know who's piloting the robot. It could be Bowser, could be Junior, or maybe someone completely new. The only thing that's certain is that this scene is going to deliver tons of action, energy, and visual spectacle. And honestly, Rosalina looks way too powerful to lose this one. Who would you put your money on? Among the many portraits Bowser paints inside that stylish cell, one of them shows a flying Koopa, one of the most iconic and annoying creatures in the Mario franchise. That detail alone is enough to raise suspicion, but things get even weirder when we remember that, at the beginning of the trailer, Bowser was also painting Mario as a terrified skeleton. Putting all that together, it becomes pretty clear he's not nearly as peaceful as he wants everyone to think. The villain is probably planning something behind the scenes, maybe just waiting for the perfect moment to put his plan into action. Or to escape. Here's another extremely curious detail that pops up quickly. A tiny piano inside Bowser's castle prison. That alone already gives away something delicious. We're probably getting another musical number in the movie. In the first film, Bowser absolutely crushed it playing classic songs from the franchise and even wrote an entire song dedicated to Peach. And since Jack Black, who voices the villain, loves singing and always delivers insane amounts of energy in these scenes, it's almost guaranteed that this movie will bring more fun and chaotic musical performances, maybe even a full-on show. Who knows, there might be a surprise waiting for us. Now check this out. Bowser shows Mario and Luigi a painting where he appears next to Peach, as if they were a couple. In the villain's completely delusional imagination, the princess is in love, practically swooning over him. But there's a hilarious detail. The Bowser in the painting looks muscular, shredded, super stylish, like he spent weeks lifting heavy at the gym. In other words, Bowser thinks he's way more attractive than he actually is. This reveals how the villain's mind works, always believing in an exaggerated, heroic version of himself. If you're into movies, video games, and even animated shows from pop culture, then you definitely don't want to miss the chance to subscribe to the channel right now. Back to that sky scene, there's a detail only people who played Mario Galaxy will recognize right away. That shooting star might actually be the Comet Observatory. Rosalina lives there, in an ancient space station that travels across the entire universe, as if it were on a long journey. Once a year, that observatory passes over the Mushroom Kingdom, giving rise to the famous Star Festival, meaning that light we see first in the trailer might very well be Rosalina's actual home arriving. And there's more. When the glow passes over Mario and Peach, a flag appears with the kingdom symbol, light blue fabric with a yellow star in the middle. A tiny detail, but such a cool one to spot. And it's exactly when things look way too peaceful that the problem arrives. Bowser Jr. suddenly shows up out of nowhere to get his father. He declares that he came to rescue the great Koopa leader, making it clear that Bowser's calm behavior was nothing but an act. The scariest part is the item he's holding, a magical paintbrush filled with special ink capable of turning into dangerous weapons. If this object ends up being used like it was in the games, our heroes are in serious trouble. In other words, his arrival confirms that Bowser Jr. is going to unleash absolute chaos. And to wrap it up, there's a really beautiful and slightly mysterious scene. Mario and Peach together on the rooftop, alone, watching the sky in the beginning of the Star Festival. Anyone who knows Mario Galaxy understands that this festival is an ancient and super important event in the Mushroom Kingdom. But the curious part is that they're up there alone when they could be celebrating with the other residents of the kingdom. Could this be a sign of something more intimate growing between them? Maybe it's the beginning of the romance fans have been waiting for. In a super quick moment of the trailer, Mario appears wearing high-speed protective goggles, the kind made for racing through the desert. And here's the detail that's really easy to miss. In the reflection of the lens, we can see Luigi riding his motorcycle at full speed. Even though it's such a short moment, it already reveals that this sequence is going to be fast, chaotic, and packed with excitement. It also confirms that the scene takes place in a desert setting, which opens the door for tons of theories and references. Anyone who knows Mario games understands that whenever the desert shows up, there's always a chance for a hidden Easter egg. And this movie definitely doesn't look like it'll miss the opportunity to play with that. Right before that reflection shows up, we also see the reveal that Luigi is about to hop onto a stylish motorcycle, which already makes it clear that he's finally getting a big action scene. This is really interesting, because in the first movie, the Green Plumber didn't join that crazy kart race alongside Donkey Kong and Princess Peach. So now he finally gets his moment to shine on two wheels, showing a braver, more adrenaline-filled side of himself. The motorcycle's design strongly resembles the vehicles from the Mario racing games, and that alone has fans excited to see Luigi taking part in the adventure in a more active way. Now we get into a theory that could be true, or maybe just a clever misdirect from the movie. Mario and Luigi's race takes place in a desert with floating pyramids all around, which opens two very interesting possibilities. The first is that this setting might be inspired by one of the desert planets from Mario Galaxy, since the game does have sandy levels with pyramids and suspended structures. But there's an even more exciting possibility. What if this desert is actually Sarasaland? For anyone who doesn't remember, that's Princess Daisy's kingdom. And a big part of that region is heavily inspired by ancient Egypt, with lots of pyramids and similar architecture. And there's more. When the motorcycles jump over a sandhill, Luigi raises his arm, celebrating as if he just accomplished something super important. Is he celebrating a victory? Or maybe excited that he's about to see his princess again? Finally, we get a huge change compared to the Mario Galaxy game. In the games, Peach is kidnapped by Bowser Jr. and taken into space against her will. But in the new movie's trailer, what we see is completely different. The princess chooses to go into space alongside Toad. The two of them literally jump onto a magic star and rise together into the sky. This shows she's willingly heading into a cosmic adventure, maybe to discover something about herself, or maybe because of something connected to Mario. Another possibility is that this journey is tied to Princess Rosalina. If that's the case, Peach might discover that she's related to the mother of the Lumas right at the beginning of the film. This theory makes sense because many fans believe that during the Star Festival, Peach may find out that she also arrived in the Mushroom Kingdom during a night just like that. That would explain why she decides to use the kingdom's magic to search for answers in space. And of course, that would pave the way for Peach and Rosalina to finally meet. Maybe even as mother and daughter, revealing something the games never dared to confirm. Do you think this theory makes sense? Now we get one of the heaviest references in the entire trailer. Could Mario actually die in the movie? The possibility is real, and there's an Easter egg that makes it pretty obvious. Right at the beginning, we see Bowser working on a very important painting. And as always, showing off his artistic side, something that fits perfectly with Jack Black's energy as the villain. But when you look closely, the shock hits. Mario appears portrayed as a full skeleton, with his hands on his face, in a clear reference to The Scream, the world-famous painting. And this isn't just an artistic joke. In Mario Galaxy, there really is a level where Mario gets hit with a fatal electric shock and turns into a skeleton for a few seconds. Meaning, yes, it's totally possible we'll see the hero go through something similar in the movie. It might be a tense scene, but just like in the game, there's always a chance to restart. We've reached the end of the video, but we're leaving 2 awesome videos for you to check out even more details and hidden Easter eggs from your favorite movies and shows.